Placement. Let's go.
That's a little bit.
Good looking baseball.
It's blue.
Who cares?
It's blue.
All right, Vig.
Super fits.
Let's talk a little about the Diamond. And one of the players up to the northeast of us, who's having some troubles right now, some troubles, is Carl Crawford, one of the big signees last year, who had a very mediocre, maybe I could say mediocre, 2011. Disappointing to say the least.
Yeah.
You know, comes up there to Boston, doesn't really doesn't hit 300, doesn't steal 70 bases
like
as everybody says they were going to do. Yep. Very few clutch hits, and obviously we know what happened to the Red Sox last year.
And
the laughing stock of Major League Baseball. I love it. I can't wait to see it happen again this year.
With Bobby V at the helm.
With Bobby V at the helm. And it's going to happen again this year because of pretty much what we're going to talk about with our guy Carl Crawford. Carl Crawford, speedster.
He's our guy now.
I love him. I think this is great because I love knowing that the Red Sox have him. I'm saying it right now after 1 year and 2 weeks of spring training. Bust. Yeah. Horrible contract. Basically, he has a wrist injury, is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Carl Crawford has a wrist injury that bothered him through a lot of last season.
Yeah.
Did not heal over a 4-month off season.
Won't be ready for opening day.
Won't be ready for opening
What is that?
day. I mean, now if you're a Boston fan, you have a major case for concern here. And if you're a Yankees fan, you got a major, taste for pride.
I'm fired up.
You know, when you compare left fielders here, it's not even close anymore.
Gardy.
So Gardy's our guy. You know, I'll take him over Crawford any day, regardless of the price. So I'm pretty much asking you, speaking of wrist injuries, they could be chronic. We saw it with the Yankees, with the guy that came through our system, Nick Johnson.
Yeah.
Is Carl Crawford the next Nick Johnson, a guy who will never play a full season in the majors?
It's hard to project it out, 3, 4, 5 years, but it is not a good sign that they go off. They try to baby him during the second half of last year because they know he's got a little bit of a wrist injury or wrist soreness. Then the off season hits, he turns down surgery, then he has some surgery, and it has not healed by opening day. All I can say is for a guy who is in the second year of a long-term contract, big money, who showed even when healthy, first half of last year, he struggled mightily in Boston, it's really not a good sign.
No, it's not, and I think that's why we got to be fired up if you're a Yankees fan right now. Because with a guy like Carl Crawford and the finances of the Red Sox, it's not the Yankees where, well, we wouldn't necessarily do it. We could sit a guy making $20 million a year. The Red Sox are going to have to play him. This guy playing with one arm, who isn't going to be able to swing the bat the way we want him to, isn't going to be able to throw the way we want him to, and can't slide in head first like he used to love to do with a hurt wrist. I think this is a beautiful thing for us Yankees. I think this is going to be a chronic injury for Crawford. I mean, I'm getting fired up about it strictly because of what you said. When you take that much time over an injury like this, okay, it's not going to heal during the season because you're playing every day.
Best physicians, best treatment.
Right, he gets everything you could want as far as medical treatment, and it's still bugging him.
To the point where he won't play an opening day.
Right.
It's a total problem.
Okay.
And you have to ask yourself, is he going to even see the life of the contract through?
Oh.
Let alone in a Red Sox uniform. Let alone, are they going to have to trade him and eat 90% of the contract?
I mean, that's the beautiful thing about if you're a baseball player. Fully guaranteed contracts.
Yeah.
So he knows
like
he has.
The NFL.
Yeah, exactly. Much like the NFL, he knows he has another $120 million poured in.
In the NFL, it's like you blow out your knee. It's like, okay, we just cut you.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing with baseball if you're a player. That is. But so that's why I think Crawford is in for some tough times for himself. Well, actually, good times for Crawford. Tough times.
For Crawford.
Hey, if I was making $20 million a
Rich.
year, sit on the bench with a wrist injury, cut my hand off for all I care. I'll take that injury for $20 million a year over 7 years.
So, quick prediction, and we can both make one.
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to bounce back and put it behind him, be the kind of guy that for the next 5, 6 years does whatever he has to do, i.e. cortisone shots, painkillers, whatever it needs to do to get on the diamond?
I'm going to say yes and no. I'm going to say he's going to do what it takes to get on the diamond. But I think his productivity is gone. I think we will never see him as a 300 hitter again. We will never see him steal over 45 bases again. No more 12 triple seasons.
Because he won't be on base.
Exactly. He won't be, and he's not going to dive in head first. I don't care if you have a cortisone shot in your wrist. You're not stealing and diving in head first. And especially
not going balls out.
Especially if your on base percentage is down 50 points. points because you can't get those singles like you used to in the doubles that you had before when you were in Tampa Bay.
Point is, Carl Crawford, super fit's fired up about the
Fired
injury.
up.
You know, I'm usually a little more cautious of not rooting for other teams to be injured,
I don't mind it.
but I can see the positives around not having Carl Crawford on the Red Sox for long term.
Nice one. Nice one.
Definitely see those positives.
I have no problem